AW here. What's up, guys? What are you doing? I hope you're all good, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can tell my. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll just say that. Here you go. Blinded for you. 'Cause I know you want to come up. Blinded. I need you. Ah, my God. Okay. 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 Where was I? All right. Yeah. Welcome to my channel, AW Order. If you see what you like, make sure to subscribe. If you're a current subscriber, both smash the like button. Also, join membership down below. Uh, Not overly expensive for membership. Two tiers, not the second tier is not that expensive, much more expensive. Okay, okay, all right. Um, actually, actually, but actually, before I get to this video, I want you to know, okay, what this video is all about. Uh, why, why am I doing this video? Okay, it's just frustrating. People are just certain people either the grift or just plain stupid don't truly don't truly understand Superman or don't give a damn about Superman or just have an agenda. Specifically, this person I'm going to detract, okay, is has become such a miserable. I'm not talking about Jarbo or Sean Wark or anything like that because Jarbo doesn't go after Marvel either. But like this person I'm talking about has become such a miserable person, a miserable person. Seriously, if you look at our videos, everything is negative, whether it's on purpose, whether okay, okay. Now, I wasn't on the stream, but I was watching a stream a couple days ago. I don't know if Tony's around, but like Tony might be still doing his show. Okay, yeah, he has his afternoon show. Yeah, yeah, I think it's still live. Uh, him and his crew with little movie perp. They ran over this woman, this girl, this lady, over, over. Yeah, why is Lexus sitting down? I don't know why he can't sit down. He's a fucking human being. But they went over my friend Tony and TJ. I think Purpose on that stream, and I think somebody else. They went over a video of this same woman, Jester Bell. That's her name. Some of you may know her. Some of you may not might know who she is. Some of you may not. I know right now. I'm in a DM messaging a friend of mine, Finbar. Finbar doesn't exactly know who she is. Oh well, wage bit. Okay, that's who she is. Uh, Tony did her. Okay, Tony not did her. That sounds small. No, no. Tony on the stream. I don't know. Maybe Wednesday or Tuesday. I forgot what day it was. Okay, they were talking about her Thunderbolts. Yeah, see, that's another thing about the selfie. Like, who cares? So, so yeah, okay. About Thunderbolts, right? She did a review, a 45-minute review of Thunderbolts, explaining why she hated the movie. This movie is not as Le- she said the movie is not as good, and and everybody says it's good. It's a lying. It's lying their ass off. She accused everybody that liked the movie of lying. Everybody that likes Thunderbolts, that they're lying. The critics are lying, and the fans are lying. She accused everybody of lying, liking Thunderbolts. Okay, she accused everybody of that. Okay. Yeah, she. All right. Yeah. Okay. She accused everybody that likes. She accused everybody that liked Thunderbolt of lying. That the consensus, that the overwhelming, the overall, so the overall consensus of Thunderbolts was a solid movie. Box office rise, it's not making as much money. That's true. It's still a good movie in terms of it's underrated. People should see it, but that's not her point. That's a Grace Randolph point. Her point is that it was her point in that review was I enjoyed the trailer. Her point in that review was that the movie is suck. It was not good, and everybody says it liked it. Uh, they're lying. They're lying and bullshitting. Okay, almost going to a point where almost going to a point where she accused the critics of being paid. So, okay, okay, they're liking the movie, and maybe some of the fans, people like that. Well, I guess that argument that argument doesn't work because a Marvel movie came out earlier in the year, Captain America, and the critics and the fans were not overwhelmingly support of it. Okay, so which one is it? Are they paid sales or are they not? Which one is it? Just okay, all right. So don't listen to this guy. Subscribe, please. Okay. Also, look at this. Look at this. She posted this today on her page, and we'll get to the video. I hope Blindy gets in, comes in. Okay. So look at this. Okay. Look at this. Quick box office predictions for July. I know what Red's gonna say. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. Okay. So Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay. Jester Bell. Jurassic World Rebirth. 1 billion. She thinks it's gonna get 1 billion. It's quite possible. I mean, it's Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. Yeah. Superman. Anywhere between 500 and 700 depends on its receive. Okay. 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 I think that's underestimating Superman Legacy. She's clearly doesn't know. Now here's the point I disagree with her wholeheartedly because she's bullshitting on Marvel. She says she doesn't care about the MCU anymore, but she continues talking about the MCU. Okay. Okay. 400 million. She's fucking delusional if Fantastic Four can make 400 million at the box office. And her reasoning is this: I don't think people realize how trouble Fantastic Four really is. The characters aren't much more relevant to the mainstream than the Thunderbolts were, and it's coming out right after two major blockbusters. Actually, you're fucking wrong. Okay, okay, you're fucking wrong. The Fantastic Four have always been more relevant than the characters in in Thunderbolts. Always. Okay, to the moon. Always. Fantastic Four were always much more popular characters than the characters in Thunderbolts. Also, this is coming out during Comic Con. It's their most hyped movie, the most exciting movie of MCU. I think you, I don't know if she's a lesbian, but I think you, Jester Bell, are so delusional. They hate Marvel so much. You want it to flop, and your reasoning is because of Thunderbolts and Captain America. No, 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 no. Okay, 400 million? You are fucking underestimating it. Okay. First of all, I mentioned first of all, like I said, Fantastic Four. Those characters are a lot more popular than Thunderbolts. Okay. Any character in the Thunderbolts. Sorry. People wanted Fantastic Four for a while. Okay. People wanted MCU to get the most studios to get their hand on Fantastic Four and get it out of Fox's hands and see what they could do. They casted a bankable actor in Reed Richards, Patrick Pascal. Okay, who's in everything? All right. Um, Galactus, all this. The trailers were really really good. No, she doesn't read. She doesn't like Marvel MCU. Um, Also, she's overlooking one big factor. Okay, this is the last movie in the MCU before we get Avengers Doomsday. Okay, and it's been on record. It's been proven on record with 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 Captain Marvel, Black Panther, that any movie coming out before the major Avengers movie, that those that that movie gets a lot of people, makes a lot gets a lot of people to watch, people go see. Right, this is the last movie for Avengers Doomsday, and that's also a big that's also a big factor. That's a huge factor why it's gonna make more than 400 million because it's the last movie before Avengers Doomsday. Yes, Black Panther and Captain Marvel came out a couple months before the Avengers movies. Still, this is still because this is the movie that's gonna most directly lead into Avengers Doomsday. Okay, or maybe she does. Spider-Man comes out after Avengers Doomsday. Okay, so her her her, her hypothesis is based on Thunderbolts and Captain America: Brave New World. That yeah, true. They haven't really exactly done well, box office wise. It's I don't think it's gonna affect Fantastic Four whatsoever. Okay, the Marvels, the Marvels flop. Nobody got to see the Marvels. The Marvels didn't affect Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, Ant Man and the Wasp did not affect Guardians 3. Ant Man and the Wasp came out 2 or 3 months before Guardians 3. Okay, it did not affect Guardians 3. Okay, so this it's been proved. I just proved it right there. Did not this hypothesis from her, this point from her. I just proved it wrong. Okay. Sometimes it's based on who's looking for most of the movie to the most. Fantastic Four is a lot more popular than Thunderbolts. Okay. And new news flash: Fantastic Four. I don't think people realize how in trouble Fantastic Four really is. The characters aren't much more relevant to the mainstream than the Thunderbolts were, which is 100% wrong. 100% wrong. Okay. First of all, Fantastic Four are a lot more popular than any characters in Thunderbolts. They have one of the most popular villains in comic book history. You could definitely put Doctor Doom as top 10 villains in comic book history. Whatever, whatever. And I mean comic books in general. I don't mean Marvel. You could put Doctor Doom definitely up there. Okay, okay. Uh, I'm just reading the comments here. Okay. I don't know where Blinded is. Maybe Blinded could join me. But she's gonna look like an awful idiot when, as more of an idiot, when she's way wrong. Or, if he's free, I'll invite my buddy Finbar. I'm DMing Finbar right now. Okay? So, okay. But let's get to the video Superman. Okay? Okay. So I got the video up for you guys. Okay? I'm a little itchy, so here we go. This is who Jester Bell is. Um, yeah. Says James Gunn Superman is a man child. Okay, that's the title of her. I'll tell you. Look at all. I'll say this. Look at all her videos. Titles of her videos. You tell me how she's not the most negative person there is. James Gunn Superman is a child. Why Marvel was afraid seeing this show? Harley Quinn poison the worst relationship in comics. Why does MC want to hate this character so much? Look, it's Hollywood about. Look at this stuff. Look at this. Okay,
Here.
look at that. Okay, just look at all that. All right. So that's her channel. You can just type up if you want to check her out. Just type Jester Bell to search on YouTube, and she'll pop up. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now. Back now, guys. All right, so okay, so let's get into this. So we
To destroy all of your hopes.
uh, let me get rid of this banner so you can see. Why do I feel like I'm out of breath? All right.
And dreams. I apologize in advance.
Don't apologize because you're an idiot. Don't apologize for being stupid and a wage bait, a grifter, someone who claims they know comics, don't really know anything. So don't apologize for being that.
So, to start off, let's watch a little bit of this clip right here from Justice League Unlimited.
You remember what happened to your reputation when you were under Darkseid's control.
That was years ago.
People haven't forgotten the way you and the League have been acting lately. Look, I'm a reporter, not a public relations person, but with all the muscle you guys throw around, you're starting to scare me.
We got a lot of power, but we only use it to help.
Like when you and Captain Marvel wrecked Lexor City on national television?
We come on a little strong sometimes, but it's for the people's own good.
Now, this clip
Chester Bell. Let's see what you say.
is actually very similar to this clip from James Gunn's Superman.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what?
Here's the thing, Chester Bell. His tone in that clip from Justice League, it was getting less softer. It was getting more hard. The tone of his words we're less soft and soft. The more she pressed on, he was getting frustrated. All right. He was getting frustrated. Okay, less and less composed. His tone was getting louder and louder in that Justice League clip. So
What some might. It's a lot.
Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your action. That's funny.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed. You consult with the president.
No. I wasn't
all right.
representing anybody except for me.
The setup is very similar. It's that Superman and Lois are just supposed to be spending some time together, and Superman in the midst.
The problem is, this is to Superman directly. The Superman show, Justice League show, made that Superman seems a much more veteran Superman than this Superman. This Superman seems like, yes, he's experienced, but he still seems kind of young, right? Kind of young. Okay. The problem with Superman at times, it makes him seem that he's older than he really is. Okay. Guess.
Midst of all of that is under fire for his decision making using his power. He's under fire from the public, under fire from the government, and in both scenes, Lois Lane is pushing the questions against Superman about exactly what he is doing and if it's the right thing. But you'll notice that Superman's demeanor is quite different in both clips. One in Justice League Limited, Superman is very firm in his stance on what he is doing. He does get a little bit hot under the collar.
No shit.
As you can see from this little animation of being questioned here, and you can tell that the frustration of everything that is happening to him is really brimming up, but he sort of stays with this maturity, that he has thought through his decisions, and that he wants to stay true to them. He is confident that he has made the right choices, even if a lot of people are lobbying against him right now. Now, Superman is a bit in the wrong in the video that we are seeing, the Justice League Unlimited clip, as we see during the show, he's kind of lost his way a little bit. He's kind of become too self-righteous, too assured of what he's doing here, and he goes on an arc in the show regarding
That's Superman.
that. But it is still a completely different demeanor from this in Superman in the other.
Here's the thing. That Superman in Justice League Unlimited seems like a Superman for 10 and 20, like a 20-year Superman. Okay? Here's the thing. This Superman seems so kind of relatively young. I wouldn't be surprised if this Superman, even though Kryptonians age differently, I wouldn't be surprised if this Superman is in his 20s. It might be a 5 to 10-year Superman. Okay? Um, Hello, everybody that's watching. Like, share, subscribe. Okay. So, if you're gonna hate that Superman, you have to do the exact same thing. If you're gonna compare that Superman, you gotta compare it to the Snyder Cut Superman. Okay.
Other clip where Superman immediately gets very upset, loses his cool, and starts acting much more emotional. Now,
like he's not allowed to act frustrated, pissed off, emotional. I guess it's okay for him to be calm all the time, all the time. You know who's like that? That's Batman. And you know what? You know what happens with Batman when he doesn't let his emotions, his feelings out, and when he does, it's usually in a non-healthy way. Okay. Okay. Why do you think he told Alfred to stop, because he knew he was getting frustrated, pissed off, and he didn't want to hear about it.
we are going to break this down because this is a scene from the new Superman by James Gunn trailer that came out
You don't fucking see
recently.
Okay. Superman has yelled and lost composure and other things besides Justice League. You found one piece of evidence, but one piece of so-called evidence, but there's other people who debunked it. Where have I seen it? Okay, he's done it in Superman in the '98, not the '78 film. Okay. Okay. Superman has lost composure and got frustrated and yelled before. Okay. What's up, Sideways? Okay. Bear with me. I got a bit of a runny nose, a sneezing. Bear with me, guys. The cough is a little better today. I just have a fucking runny nose. I want Tony in here. You know, let's invite Tony if he wants to come in. No, he hasn't seen it, but okay.
When the trailer came out, I watched it, and I did enjoy that it started out with a clip actually seeing Superman talk, because that's what I've been waiting for this entire time. I want to see who Superman and Lois in this new universe are.
Is it really that bad, Sideways? Tell me. It's okay to tell me. Is it really that bad? Like, I know you went halfway through, but is it really that bad? All right. Is it really that bad? That's what I want to know. All right.
Now, then the clip did not sit right with me, and I couldn't understand why. There were a couple things in the trailer that I kind of felt were maybe an
Maybe the guy say maybe saving lives is important. Yeah, that's it. She goes off by one. Her whole fucking video is off one scene. One scene in the film. These people are fucking idiots. I'm just saying, fucking idiots. Rage bit. Detract. These people made up their mind. They're gonna hate the movie. Okay. These people have to go after. Oh my god, Superman showed emotion. He yelled. Oh my god, Superman's not allowed to be human. He has to be perfect in every single way. Superman's not allowed to have feelings. He's not allowed to be frustrated, pissed off. He's not. Oh wait. He's in love with Lois Lane. Wait. How could Superman be perfect? Be perfect, but also be in love with Lois Lane? Oh, how does that work, guys? Oh, Superman to be perfect. He's not allowed to have feelings at all, guys. You know what? Here's the thing. If perfection, yeah, perfection means if somebody's perfection, it means it would mean feelings having feelings. If somebody says they're perfect, that means their feelings and emotions are flawed. Would be flawed. Feelings and emotions is not a flawed thing. Okay. Some feelings, some emotions are flawed, like anger, hate, jealousy. Yeah, that's you don't want that. But there's also on the other side compassion, remorse, love, happiness. If you're perfect, you cannot have any of those fucking emotions. Okay. The problem is Lex Luthor thinks he's perfect, but he's far from perfect because he has jealousy and rage and anger. And I gotta get a tissue. Yeah, see, of course. And it was more about who was asking the questions, right? I think if it wasn't Lois Lane asking the questions, if it's another else reporter, I think he'd be less frustrated. But since it was Lois Lane, who know each other, who've been dating, yeah, you more likely would get frustrated with somebody you care about, or angry at somebody you care about, or that you know more than a regular, than and somebody you don't know. Okay. One scene, he's a man child. I want to see how from one scene. That one scene gives you the perception that he's gonna be a man child in the film. That he's gonna be immature in the film, right? Oh, one scene is gonna show how immature he is in the film. One scene. Oh, there's the perception of Superman in this film from one scene. Oh, remember you know the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover." Well, people like this should live by it. And I'm scared. Yeah,
improvement from the first one, like playing just the John Williams theme as it is, not with any sort of guitar riff or anything like that. But then there were other things that I really didn't enjoy. Like, I didn't enjoy how much of that new super wide angled camera lens that they were using. There's some of the effects that really did not look good. A lot of this.
this is. I like how somebody says I didn't like the face, the camera angles, or whatever. Um,
movie is shot weird. This movie has the same cinematographer as The Flash, and the last movie I want to be reminded of when going to a new DC movie is The Flash, but unfortunately, that is the look that they chose. They chose this movie is going to aesthetically remind you of...
And Tony's chat. If you look very closely, they make fun of her, calling her look like the female Elijah Wood, Frodo. Frodo. They say that she's Elijah Wood with hair. Because if you really look at it.
The Flash.
It looks like Elijah Wood. You know, from Lord of the Rings? Take the hair out, he might look like Elijah Wood from Lord of the Rings. So some people in the Tony's chat call her Frodo.
Okay, but interestingly, when the trailer was over, I just was kind of like, meh.
Of course you are.
I was kind of just really apathetic about it. I didn't really know
Of course you are, because you... Of course you are. You hate everything.
how to feel, and I'm like, yeah, that was the new Superman trailer. It's coming out, and the thing that stuck with me, though, is like, Clark Kent didn't really feel like Clark Kent, did he? And I couldn't really articulate why or anything, but the next day...
Clark Kent didn't feel like Clark Kent, but I couldn't articulate why. Okay. Smeagol more like it. Oh.
As different people have watched this trailer, I talked to Sister Belle, who's been on this channel before, about what she felt about the trailer. And Sister Belle is a bigger Superman fan than I am. She grew up with Smallville. And she said flat out she did not like this trailer. And one of the things she said was not only just that frumpy Lois Lane, which is something that I agree with, it is not because of Rachel Brosnahan.
Smallville. So you have a friend on, somebody who's been on a channel named Sister Belle, okay, which who's a Superman fan, but sounds kind of like, yeah, your name is Sister Belle. It's a Sister Belle. I think there's a relation there, and I think that's all set up. I don't buy that that's their opinion. I think what she would, and also you said Smallville. If Smallville is your base, if Smallville is your basis for this, your thesis for Superman, then I'm sorry, you got nothing. Smallville was a teenage Superman, okay?
It is how she is
She's Sister Belle. Come on, like it's not like.
dressed, how they've presented her in this movie.
How Lois Lane would do? Lois Lane is not known to ask tough questions. You know, Lois Lane's always been like that. You know, Lois Lane. Guys, is it me or hasn't Lois Lane always been known to ask tough questions and questions that could get a reaction of people? I guess.
But she also said Clark Kent isn't giving Clark Kent. And I thought about that, and I agreed.
Okay.
Now, to talk a little...
This trailer wasn't really about the Clark Kent side of things. It was mostly on the Superman side of things, okay? You can't use Smallville. You can't use Smallville as an argument for the Superman, okay? You can't say she's a bigger Superman fan than me and then use Smallville. You can't say that. If she's really a true Superman fan, you like the Superman before Smallville, okay? The animated shows, Superman and Lois, Lois and Clark, the Super Friends, whatever. Like fucking Smallville. That's your basis. That's your basis.
little bit more about, I guess, like, everyone has their own perceptions of who Clark Kent and Superman should be, and that is why we get into so many arguments.
Yeah.
For me, though, the consistent trait amongst Superman portrayals I get from him is that there's a maturity to him, a wisdom, and a conviction from him. Not that he is perfect, certainly not. We just talked about in that clip, he had lost his way a little bit. He had become a little...
You want him to be perfect. But that's the thing, you want him to be perfect.
Too self-assured.
Here's the thing here. Even mature people, very mature people lose their cool once in a while. Okay?
Of himself.
Very mature people lose their cool once in a while. Very composed people eventually lose it once in a while. Okay? Like, are you fucking, are you serious? Okay?
In that clip. But in terms of the kind
of... like, guys, does she not know that? Does she not know that? People, even mature people lose composure control once in a while. Come on, it happens.
Kind of traits that I don't think are Superman's flaws is I don't think that he is super insecure. I don't think that he is childish in any way. Now, that is what I want to talk about in this Superman clip we got from the movie, is that my first thought before I could put it into words was, this is giving Zachary Levi Shazam.
Oh my fucking god.
That is also not a thing that you want to give. Now,
you're a fucking moron. Oh my god. Should be. Oh, I saw it. Oh, this is where you lose the plot, man.
I'm thinking specifically of Zachary Levi in Fury of the Gods, where he's portraying an 18-year-old, but he was acting like he was a 5-year-old constantly, a grown man acting like a 5-year-old. Zachary Levi Shazam was marked by being constantly insecure about his decisions, but constantly...
Here's the thing. If you don't know Shazam, here. Oh yeah, you would. I don't know if you would, man. Yeah, you do that. Here's the thing. These comic book people don't understand. So-called comic book people. Shazam, when Billy Batson turns into Shazam, he's still immature. He still acts like a kid, right? Right? Even so-called Wisdom Solomon, he actually still acts like a kid. You know that, right? He still has the kid mindset in him at times. Okay. Okay. Because he's still gullible at times to Shazam.
Needing to justify them to other people. And that's what I got from this scene. Now, let me, I know that I'm not making sense, but let me explain. If Superman was to be questioned by Lois, even if he was under a lot of pressure, a lot of people coming after him, the government, public, and they were in this conversation, I feel like if Lois Lane is starting to push the hard questions, Superman would be more like, Lois.
Here's the thing. You gotta understand. Batman, I'm gonna compare. I always think when I talk Batman, right? I talk Batman a lot, right? Okay. When I talk Batman, right? With Batman is used to this kind of thing from time to time. He's either like or dislike, so he's learned to deal with it. Superman kind of needs to be liked, okay? And it's not to me an arrogant thing or an insecure thing. He kind of needs to be he kind of needs to be liked, and he's not used to people turning on him. He's not used to people that once cheered for him, that support him, turning on him. When you're not used to stuff like that, sometimes, sometimes, sometimes you react differently. Something to you react differently you're not used to, right? So if you like, all right, like Batman is used to this kind of stuff from time to time, so he shrugs it off. Superman is not like that. It's glad, yeah, his movie, both movies flopped hard, buddy. Both movies. Okay, when you're not used to, cause no, Superman needs to be like, because he needs to be an inspiration to people, right? And when you need to be an inspiration to people, you kind of need to be liked, right? And Superman kind of likes to be a beacon of hope for everybody. And when you want to be a beacon of hope for everybody, you kind of need to be liked, all right? You kind of have to, right? So when it's people turning on him, people that support him, that want to support him, that turn on him, all right? It's hard to deal with. It's hard to deal with. You get right. You get emotional. You probably develop feelings that like anger and hate and all that, maybe frustration that you never had. And sometimes people like that when they gather emotions that they never experienced yet, they lash out time to time, right? Um, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, that's true, Brad. That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're 100% right. You're 100% right on that, buddy. You're 100% right.
What are you doing? And then if Lois continued to press him, I think that he would, cross his arms and be like, I know that a lot of people have a problem with how I handled this here, but I had to in order to save lives. I think
Um, um, yeah, let's see you. Okay, whatever.
that Superman would be a lot more mature, a lot more solid in his conviction, even if he didn't like being questioned. And even if this branched out into a huge conversation about that, which apparently it does in the movie. I think
You know, we don't. Here's the thing about that scene. We don't know what the full interview is, right? We don't know how many questions she asked, what the full interview is. We don't know what's leading to him the outburst, right? We assume everything we saw in the trailer is what leads to the outburst. But there could be more things in that interview that's building and building to Superman getting frustrated, to Clark getting frustrated. We don't know, okay? So getting to a point where we're judging before after seeing the movie, this makes us, well, doesn't make me look ridiculous because I watch the movie. Oh yeah, like Tyler Hawkins, Superman. I watched Superman Lois. He gets pissed off and loses control. Last season, man. Last season, he fucking challenged Lex Luthor. Okay? Called out Lex Luthor out, and they had a fight. He lost fucking control. Okay? Yeah. And people loved his Superman. I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't think you watched. Well, it's obvious you didn't watch it.
that even with Superman's frustrations, there would still be a maturity to him. And he's not teenage Superman here. He is grown Superman who is established in this universe. But instead, what we get from David Cornsweat's Clark Kent is that he immediately goes on the defensive mode. Not even when Lois has opened her mouth. Like she says, you've been coming under a lot of fire lately. And he's like, oh, like he immediately
To the top of this gang. I don't. I don't condone violence against this woman, guys. Randy's just joking. Any
has to try to stop her from questioning him. He immediately has to shut it down, and then she has to calm him down to get back to the questions. And then it continues on, and it just becomes more and more emotional from him. Like, he's super insecure about his decision making, and so even getting this from Lois, he constantly goes on the defensive mode, but he himself is not confident in his decision making. What I'm getting at here is that I think that Superman is a character with a lot more wisdom and maturity than this. Like I said,
even people with wisdom and maturity lose their cool once in a while. I mean, uh okay. It's all part of being human. Why can't you this because Jesus Christ.
I think that he would be a lot.
You want Superman to be like Henry Cavill Superman, stoic all the time, always looking like he has like a problem, like he dislikes everything he sees. Like, okay, you want him? That Superman, that doom and gloom, that negative looking like Superman who always didn't right. You want that Superman? A depressing looking like Superman that Henry Cavill himself hated. Henry Cavill himself hated that fucking Superman. Okay, you want that Superman? That's funny. Yeah. Is that what the Superman you want?
Lot more measured in his response to Lois, even if it was frustrating him a bit. Not, oh, this how you're gonna be? Like, that reminds.
Maybe they're in a fucking relationship at the time. Have you ever been in a fucking relationship and you don't get frustrated with your spouse? I guess. I mean, with a friend? Or this is how you're gonna be?
Reminded me of Zachary Levi from Shazam, or this is, people were in trouble, people were dying, I had to do something. Oh, like that is how Zachary Levi would play up Shazam, with a lot of
You're a fucking moron.
and this how you're gonna be? Come on, man, I was just trying to save people. What do you want me to do?
I'm just trying to save people. I'm an immature kid. I'm just trying to save people. It's called being frustrated. Where adults are not allowed to get frustrated and pissed off. I'm trying to. My God. Superman is not fucking like Batman, right? Yeah, two different characters. Superman is not like Batman. Batman. Okay, he's a. Okay, like seriously. Superman most of the time is calm, cool, and collected, but he does get frustrated and pissed off once in a while. Okay. Oh, also Lois. It seems like they have a relationship here. All right. Try being in a relationship with someone, and they start questioning your motives, the things you've done that are questionable. Try that. Are you gonna feel? Are you gonna feel? Are you gonna feel like? Are you gonna take that? Are you gonna feel like? How can I say this? Are you gonna accept that, or are you gonna feel frustrated by your spouse questioning your things? You'll feel betrayed. You'll feel betrayed, and once things like that can happen, if that happens in real life, that relationship may not last. This is a good point. We don't know what the context is. Where's 56K?
Like, it's a completely different demeanor for characters. One is more grown up, one is more mature, one is more masculine. The other is more childish. And that is what I
yelling. All of a sudden, yelling and frustrated makes you childish. I guess, right? Makes you childish. Yelling and frustration makes you childish. All of a sudden, it makes you childish. I don't think she gets out of her house. Honestly, I think she needs to touch grass and see what the real world's like, because I don't think she gets her house. I think she only goes to get her house to get groceries and go see a movie and to bash on the movie. Because I don't think what she wants to see the real world is like, alright? Right? I guess getting frustrated is considered childish all of a sudden. Right? You know what childish is? Bitching and complaining all the time. That's childish. Like you do. Your videos is rage bit. That's childish. Alright? Right? What you do.
feel with James Gunn's Superman so far. Now, before you all come at me, you could be saying this is a scene taken out of context from a much longer scene. They could have taken these moments and it won't seem so bad all put together. I don't agree at this point. I don't think that Superman would be sounding.
I don't agree at this point. Oh, there. That's another losing argument.
Like this, getting so upset at being questioned. I'm not.
That's another losing argument right there. Oh, yeah, some of you, I know you're going to come at me and say we just see I'll take a context, but I'm going to disagree with you on that. Yeah, that's an agenda take. Okay? Okay? That's another loser take. An L take. You can't say that. They say, yeah, you can't just say it to people that are going to tell you that you're over exaggerating, you're overreacting. You take it out of context and say you disagree with it. No, you haven't seen the fucking movie. Okay? You haven't seen the fucking movie. It's always like in their mind that these people, it's in their mind that they've fucking already seen the movie, alright? Like they see the movie 2 months ahead. 10 minutes? Okay. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, huh? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And how much was that scene showed? 30 seconds maybe total? 20 seconds? 15 seconds? So, what?
Getting Superman from it. And also, I want to say,
you should do your fucking research.
For the rest of of what we've seen from Superman so far, it's a little bit more of the same, where it's kind of like they're playing up the goofy aspects a lot, and I don't have a problem with doing a goofy Superman movie. The Christopher Reeve Superman movie was goofy. There's that callback to the Golden Age, but it doesn't feel like Golden Age superhero comic book goofiness. It feels like James Gunn's goofiness. I think...
People loved, which people... Okay?
And I'm gonna get shot in the face for saying this. So far, I feel like Superman might be leaning more towards another man-child character. I know I'm gonna get shot.
I think you're a fucking moron.
I know I'm gonna get shot, but...
Well, don't say stupid shit!
Listen, James Gunn, specialty is man-children in his movies. All of the male characters, with the exception of, I suppose, Groot, well, not even that, they are more of man-children characters.
Really? Is Gamora as a man-child? A man-woman? A woman-child? Gamora is like that? Nebula is like that? By the way, Star-Lord was like that in the comics, too. By the way, Star-Lord was like that in the comics. Oh, by the way, Drax was like that in the comics. Rocket Raccoon was like that in the comics. Okay? I don't think he knows shit. Okay? And Rocket's like that in the comics. Okay? Okay? Oh, by the way, was Roland the man child? Was what's his name? Ego, the planet, a man child? Was what's his name? Not what's the That's true too. So what's the villain? Revolutionary? Is that his name from the third movie? Revolutionary? I forget. Oh my god, I forgot his name. Was he a man child?
Characters. They're very immature male characters. So is
You ever heard of character development?
Peacemaker. These are the kinds of characters that Gunn has gravitated towards. And
Peacemaker has the high evolutionary. Thank you. Yeah, I know something like that. Here's the thing: Peacemaker, he's actually matured. His show during the Peacemaker show, he's actually matured during the show. Okay, okay. You could be mature and funny and comedy act, all right, and be funny at times, and act, all right. Have a sense of humor. You know what? Sense being mature and having and not having like being mature and sense of humor. People, there's a lot of mature people that have sense of humor. Characters, okay, okay. Oliver Queen is mature. Is a mature character, but he has a sense of humor. Okay, Superman is a mature character, but he's always had a sense of humor. I don't know if you know that, Jester Bell. He could be funny. And by the way, James Gunn, I don't think you understand James Gunn's work. James Gunn has a lot of comedy in his work, but he involves a lot of great storytelling, development, um, themes, important stuff like that. Yeah, Warlock was a kid. Like James Gunn, like what Peacemaker was him over time maturing a bit and going through trauma. All right, going seeing his father again, remembering his brother's death, all that over that show he was maturing. Okay, same with the Guardians. Guardians 3, yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff in it, but there's a lot of heartache in that movie. Okay, there's a lot of heartache in Guardians 2, realizing that Star Lord's father is a piece of shit. Come on, you gotta stop looking at that stuff. Okay, when you look at that, it shows you don't understand the movies or what James Gunn is trying to do. Trying to okay, it shows. And you call yourself an independent filmmaker. Like fucking seriously.
I'm not saying at all that you can't do male characters who are super immature. Like, that's the entire point of the Guardians of the Galaxy and Peacemaker and pretty much every character that James Gunn has done. There's a marked immaturity to them, and that's what has worked for him. But this is my fear of what has happened.
Know he's immature because we got frustrated. How do you know it's a sign of immaturity? Mature people get frustrated too and lose their cool. How do you fucking know? You like seriously. Okay. You know, go outside. Go outside. And okay.
Happening with Superman is that James Gunn is incapable of doing anything else. So when he's doing Superman, a character that, by the way, I covered this, he originally said the reason he didn't want to do Superman is he wasn't interested in him, and then he found a way in.
Yeah, I don't think when you know you're talking about he's not capable. I don't. He knows no. Okay, Jester Bell. He knows no. He knows more about Superman than fucking you do. Okay. He knows about the character about Superman more than you do. Okay.
Found a way to relate himself to the character.
This is why you're there, and that's why he's there. independent filmmaker, Jezebel, right? Oh, why? Because it's Hollywood, they wouldn't accept you. Yeah, you know what? You know, it sounds like because you're not good enough.
Worried that James Gunn's way of relating to Superman is to turn him into one of his characters, his more childish characters.
James Gunn, not Sideways. I don't, not all of them in Secret Wars because um, Zoe Saldana and Batista are not coming back.
And that is what I'm
done with Marvel. They're done with Marvel. Zoe Saldana and Dave Batista are done with Marvel. They said it. Guardians 3 was their last movie and whatever. But
afraid of seeing this movie. And it's like, of course, I've already talked about before.
James Gunn say in this movie there's going to be some love. It's going to be different than Guardians. Where Guardians, it's going to be less humorous than Guardians. Did he say it's going to be less humor than Guardians? I think he said in an interview that it's going to be a little bit less it's going to be a little bit less humorous than Guardians, than like that, or something like that.
And I'm just
fucking research, Chester Bell, because I'm pretty sure James Gunn said something like that. I know they're good. I know they're good, man. Thank you.
just really tired of it. So many characters in movies, so many male characters go to like the man-child trope or the simpering trope or stuff like that. There are not a lot of masculine characters in today's movies, not the mainstream blockbusters at least. So when I say that, I think the traits of Superman is there's a wisdom.
You sound like a Phantom Menace.
To him, there's a maturity and something that everyone can learn from, right? He's very measured in his decision making and the way he talks to people and all of that. Even in the goofier portrayals, like Lois and Clark on TV, there was that as well. I don't see him.
If they do a sequel to Superman, it will be James Gunn.
As at all overly emotional or childish or immature or insecure at all. I don't think that those are his flaws. And
insecurity is his flaw. I do think Superman's flaw is insecurity.
But it's like, I ask for Superman to be a more masculine character in a positive sense, and it's like, are we really gonna get that today? And
I haven't seen the fucking movie yet. Well, we could say that, well, they might have done it to Thor. Taika Waititi kind of did it to Thor, though. I'll say that. Taika Waititi definitely made Thor a man-child. I'll say that, though. Yeah, but most of the MCU males are not man-childs. They're not. Doctor Strange is not a man-child. Captain America, Robert Downey Jr., whatever. Yeah, like I think they did with Thor though. Taika Waititi especially.
And if we are gonna get that, are we gonna get that?
Yeah, they're not man-childs.
That from James Gunn, who has only ever done immature characters, and might I add, James Gunn is a very immature man himself.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. She let the cat out of the bag. Oh, there she goes.
So the answer, I think,
oh, there it is. There we go. She's spacing us. Oh, that blows up her fucking argument. Her video. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's why we don't take you. That's why it is. You know, if people watching this video, don't. That shows you that she doesn't like James Gunn, and makes up her mind. She made up this mind about this movie because James Gunn's directing it. There we go. There we go. She's so stupid enough to reveal the real reason why she thinks this movie's gonna suck. In this trailer, there's the real reason, guys. Caught live. Right? We caught evidence. We got it. There we go. Man, I wish Blinder was here. Man, I'm upset at Blinder. He should have been here. Well, she hates Marvel too, Sideways. She hates Marvel. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. I had to do some, I was sneezing like crazy there. I'm sorry about that. It's loud. I know my sneezes are loud. All right, we're at
is perhaps no, but the more I see of this Superman movie, I'm like, even like I'm not a Snyder fan. I'm not a fan at all of what they did with the Snyder movies. That was the beginning of the end for it all. But I will never
absolve you from bitching about this trailer.
Say that Henry Cavill didn't give Superman, even when they made decisions with his characterization that I disagreed with. It was always more Superman than this. This is not giving.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Superman. I am wondering in this movie if Superman is just going to end up being a self-insert for James Gunn, because we already know that Crypto is a self-insert for James Gunn's dog, but I'm wondering.
It's because. There we go. Another again. You're accusing James Gunn. You're not. Oh, because he's putting his dog is Crypto, right? It's the inspiration from Crypto. Oh, that's okay. It's a self-insert for his dog. James Gunn is not the only one self-insert. James Gunn is not the only one to do. You're accusing of doing self-inserts, right? James Gunn's not the only one, right? You're accusing of, And people accusing nepotism of James Gunn putting his wife, his brother, people he's worked with. Okay. I'm gonna accuse Chris Hemsworth of nepotism. I'm gonna fucking accuse Chris Hemsworth of nepotism. You wanna know why I want to accuse Chris Hemsworth? I'm not really accusing him. I'm just being sarcastic. You know why? Do you know in Thor: Love and Thunder? Do you remember that scene where you see the young Thor running through the forest and he gets older and older and older? That boy was Chris Hemsworth's son at the beginning. And Thor's adopted daughter, the daughter of Gore, right? When Thor adopts Gore's daughter because Gore passes away, that's Chris Hemsworth's daughter. Oh, it's maybe Thor isn't. Maybe when Taika Waititi got Thor, Thor is a self-insert of Taika Waititi. The way he's written him, directed him, to be a self-insert.
Wondering, with this movie being about a misinformation campaign against Superman, there's supposed to be an element of the internet coming involved, and people's perceptions over a public figure. I'm wondering how much of Superman is going to be a self-insert.
You're wondering.
insert for James Gunn.
Wait. Because there's the internet. You're saying because James Gunn, who is kind of active on the internet, right? Who is very active, one of the most active directors on the internet. So what you're saying is, in the movie, since it's the internet, and there's gonna be a public reception of Superman, their social media and stuff, that's a self insert too, because of James Gunn. The fuck, come on, get out with that shit, please.
But that's just how
Did that? They fucking did that in Daredevil. Oh, they fucking did that in Batman also.
I feel about it, and I'm talking.
This all makes perfect sense now. She's so dumb and not real. Like, she's not dumb. Like this. She's she's stupid. I'll say that, because she basically at the end of this video clearly says does not like James Gunn. There.
Talking to Sister Bell, who's a much more of a Superman fan than I am, and
Bell. Your name is Chester Bell. As a fucking sister.
She is not digging this trailer. She is not saying that this gives Clark Kent in any way, shape, or form. And so, like I said, I'm just like, other people are excited about this. Other people have a problem with this. There are many different reactions to this. I'm just at a point of apathy where I think the problem with this movie was what I felt in the beginning, that James Gunn is not fitting for a Superman movie. I'm looking at this trailer and it's
okay, we're done. Okay. You can tell this woman is rage bait, like Blindness says. This is clearly, when you rage bait all the time, you get more views. I mean, if I start rage baiting, I'll probably get views like this. Okay? But she clearly the end of this video. At the end of this video, it's clearly proof that it's James Gunn she's really talking about, not Superman. James Gunn. Okay? That's what she clearly is talking about. And this woman, Jester Bell, this YouTuber, okay? All she does is been hating things. All she does is been hating. I haven't seen a positive video from her. From her in a long time. Okay? Okay? She doesn't make positive videos. So, she has become a grifter. Alright? I wish Blind was here. But yeah. I'll be back tomorrow. I might do 2 streams tomorrow. 2 streams tomorrow, guys. Last of Us and an afternoon stream tomorrow, okay? Last of Us episode 6. I think, yeah, it's the second last episode. And but I stream earlier today. I'm gonna decide what the stream is gonna be later tonight.